Rebonjour à tous, merci.
Good morning again. We're very pleased to see so many people here. We had a very interesting presentations with the first 11 pitches yesterday, and we have 12 new pitches today. Fascinating. If you want to listen to the interpreting, the English or the French version, please feel free to take the headsets, and our wonderful interpreters team is there in order to simultaneously translate those pitches, so feel free to take the headsets if you need to. For those of you who only arrived today, I may give you a few figures. For this market, we got 280 projects coming from 17 different countries. We have selected 23 projects. There was a selection committee whose members' names are displayed outside. These are the best movies according to the personal judgments of the members. We had the opportunity, those selected projects had the opportunity to meet some personalities and to present their project via this pitch session. Please meet them. They came with their computers and added products, buy products in order to sell their projects to them in order to convince you that these are excellent projects and that you should circulate them and broadcast them and distribute them. To start with, we'll listen to the presentation of a Spanish project entitled The Voice of Memory. This is a wonderful project. We liked it very much. It is deeply a humanist project. It is the history of a choir, quite a specific choir. And they will tell you about this choir's history. This project has been produced by Ballet Film and is presented to us by Alex Badia and Daniel Fabra.
With a little game. How can I put the image?
The image?
The image, please.
Alors, on va repartir à zéro,
okay.
Excusez-nous.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
It's a...
Just a minute. Let's put the countdown to zero. It's
Sorry.
not fair. Parce que pour ceux qui ne savaient pas, il y a un timer.
For those of you who were not aware of that, we have a time limit. Each project has got 5 minutes time, and we want to be as fair as possible.
It's your turn.
Well, it's a little game. It's not a test of your Spanish level. We want you try to fill the gaps with the right words. But we will give you one clue. It's a song, so you can try to sing it.
Que te pregunto que cuando, como y dónde, tú siempre me respondes. Quizás, quizás, quizás.
Thanks. Well, that's the point of our documentary. It's about how memories are embedded somehow into music. So that is a documentary on Alzheimer's, but it's also a musical documentary with a lot of songs. And it started with a TV film 1 year ago, featuring the first choir made up with people with Alzheimer's in Spain, from the first rehearsals till the performance at a huge auditorium. If you can put the second video. The second video.
On démarre bien sur la première.
This is quite a good start.
Well, it's okay. They are singing When the Saints is an English song that the people doesn't know. Okay. The story is told via 6 main characters. Their families given us enough access during a year to observe how they cope with the condition, and they taught us to see the lighter side of the condition. So the sense of humor and the musical dimensions show us a unique perspective on Alzheimer's. That is, the person behind the patient still remains despite the fact that they are becoming harder to recognize.
Well, this project began as just the story of our characters. But then as we were filming, we found out that we could take it somehow further and turn it into the spectator's personal account of their emotions and memories. And well, let me explain this from my personal point of view or experience. Well, my grandfather died of Alzheimer's while he was very young, and my grandmother's brother has only recently been diagnosed with the condition. So, and you know the genetics is a risk factor in Alzheimer's. So as we were filming, I found myself unconsciously listing my own personal soundtrack, just in case, you know. So that's what we try to do with our project. It includes, or it features some web new tools to take the spectator beyond the narrative to a personal experience. It attempts to access the processes which take place when we interact with music and songs which are really intimately laced to our identity. And we can see some sketches from the... Which is a video, please? From the website. Well, the story is told using a non-linear narrative, so we can watch it in either 2 or 20 minutes. Now you will see how the interface appears. So we have access to the whole story all the time, and also we have access to this layer of characters that will appear right there. So we can get to know the characters better, and we have the choice to interview their families or even themselves, choosing which questions to make them, etc. Also, the web stores what we call a B-site, which is a databank of multimedia resources with interviews with international experts about both Alzheimer's and music therapy. And it's designed as a 2.0 community, so it's open to content amplification by any user who can upload their videos or make their comments, etc. And well, the experience is completed by the musical video games, which are a highlight for us, where we, users, become the protagonists. We have the chance to play the games we just saw the characters playing. Here will be rhythm, and we also have a karaoke, and run out of time. So thank you very much, and feel free to contact us later so that we can amplify the information. Thank you.
Bravo. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Alors on va continuer avec...
Let's move on to the second speech. I'm very much keen on Belgian humor. This is always a surrealist humor, and we have here a specific example of this Belgian surrealistic humor. We saw this recent, very troubled time of Belgian political situation, and those nationals were in a position to react in a very humorful way. It is an Ibuko digital production, and Patrick Janssen and Michael Avenit are going to introduce this project to us.
Belge.
Good morning, I'm a Belgian producer. Good morning, I'm a Belgian director. 1 year ago we voted in Belgium, and till now we still have no government. This morning we therefore decided to seek asylum. But before we left, we fortunately took our trailer, the trailer of our last series entitled The Centre. Le Centre is made up of 15 episodes, and here you'll see the teaser.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Panda. Je suis responsable de l'accueil pour le centre. Et je travaille avec la catastrophe émotionnelle.
La bonne nouvelle, fusionnement avec Bruxelles a relevé le défi. Nous sommes enfin prêts pour accueillir des gens.
Voilà, le centre.
La catastrophe? C'était du pain béni pour mon petit Paul.
Un ballon à la tête d'un sang.
C'est votre fille? Je m'appelle Johanna.
Il y a des flics, mon petit Joseph.
Vous avez pas vu mon père?
Je suis avec maintenant.
In the center, this is a science fiction storytelling. This plot happens in 2025, and Flanders, the northern part of the country, for those who don't know it, is flooded. All Flemish people have to migrate towards the southern part of the country, and centers are set up where Flemish people are cared for by families from Wallonia, so that the populations from both communities have to learn again how to live together. It is a very local history, but this might happen in many countries in Europe. The rise in nationalism is not only a European phenomenon. In order to tackle this topic, we chose the humorous and tone of a comedy and realized a mockumentary, a false documentary. We're dealing with the issue of power. What happens when new hands take the power? How do human beings realize? Do we have some revenge? We also tackle other issues such as solidarity, citizen initiative, and environment issues. This is also a love story, like Romeo and Juliet, like the children of two families who disagree with each other. It's an impossible love that is fought against by everyone. But unexpected may happen, and it could be that only the UN may solve this situation. We wanted to bring both communities closer to each other. We wanted to open a field for dialogue. We developed interactive tools, and to this end, we shot the movie in French and produced another version in Flemish with the subtitles. Nowadays, we're looking for a broadcaster for this series. We've got 15 episodes of each 4 minutes each. All episodes have been shot and cut. We've developed all interactive tools, web bannering and mobile tools in order to support this project distribution. We already have ideas for a sequel or a following in order to adapt, for example, this project to other communities in other countries. Please feel free to ask questions. We'll remain available. Thank you very much for your attention.
Restez bien en ligne. La langue officielle du centre est le français.
Ça faisait des années qu'on prévenait les responsables politiques, ils n'ont rien voulu entendre.
La Wallonie nouvelle, en fusionnant avec Bruxelles, a relevé le défi. Nous sommes enfin prêts pour accueillir les Flamands.
On faisait les malins, hein. C'est vrai, ils disaient ouais, les Wallons, c'est des fainéants, ils travaillent pas. En attendant, nous on travaillait pas, on consommait pas, on polluait moins.
Il n'y a pas de sentiment de revanche par rapport à nos amis flamands.
Bien fait, hein. Oui. C'est celui-là que vous devriez adopter.
On a toujours été là pour leur tendre la main.
Vascoin? Ah oui. Ah bah c'est la Flandre maintenant. Et là, c'est la Wallonie.
Y compris au début du XXe siècle, quand ils cherchaient du travail.
Du bas vers le haut, bien horizontal. Voilà.
C'est aussi ça l'histoire, une roue qui tourne. On peut la refaire?
Chantez un peu l'hymne national belge. Allons enfants de la patrie.
Bravo, félicitations.
Congratulations.
Alors on va poursuivre avec...
Let's move on to a more intense project, which is probably the first phenomenon of the Arab Springs, which is the rebellion that took place in Iran after the election of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, after the second election. This is a very strong political project. We appreciate it very much. It is entitled Iranian Stories, produced by Boîte AT, and Thibault is going to tell us about this project. Good morning. I introduce to you Nicole Lebron, who was in charge of developing the website. We are a platform to collect and broadcast testimonies about what is, in our view, the first rebellion that has been massively broadcast by the rebels themselves. First of all, a small summary. On the 12th of June 2009, the President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was re-elected on the first round with over 60% of votes, and fraud has been there is suspected, so that after the day of the election, massive demonstrations have started with over 3 million people in the streets of Tehran. As of 2009, the journalist team, this is a journalist project, gets aware of the fact that a new phenomenon is changing the uses in the journalist trade. For 10 months, we've been collecting 3,000 videos on YouTube and classifying them according to the date and the time in order to get the first mediatization of this rebellion. They gave us their eyes and we want to give them the floor. This is the sentence that very much illustrates our approach. We have testimonies from mobile phones, and those images really replace what you can view with your own eyes. We want to give them the floor. We want to create a secured system in order to collect testimonies and put words on those pictures. Those witnesses tell about their stories, and then illustrates them with the contents they've filmed. We have the example of an anonymous person called B, aged 32 years old, and he sent us his testimony 3 weeks ago.
گیر افتادیم و داشتیم فیلمبرداری می‌کردیم که توده مردم یهو مثل آبشار حمله کردن به سمت نیروهای امنیتی و دلیلش هم فشرده شدن بیش از حد مردم بود که و حتی سنگ ماشین می‌خوردش و ما اون گیر کرده بودیم زیر پل و مردم هجوم آوردن و پل کالج رو در واقع گرفت.
Donc voilà exactement le type de témoignage.
This is the kind of testimony we are receiving. We got 5 of them since the website was set online in June last year. You can watch other videos on our website, Iranianstories.org. They have been shot in Turkey, in the UK, in Sweden, in France, by journalists. Our main goal consists in being accessible, and that's the reason why we developed our website in French, in English and in Farsi, and used 2 computer languages, which are Flash for high bandwidth for our Western internet connection, but also in HTML for low bandwidth, which is a secured language. There are 2 different ways, options in order to testify on Iranianstories.org. First, the Flash system using a webcam. You can then shoot only your lips in order to remain anonymous. Some witnesses choose other systems. For example, they use their hands. Here on the HTML, the witnesses have the opportunity to shoot only their mouth and then to generate a file they send us via an upload platform. Security is a major concern, because in the Iranian context we know that we have a very strong internet control. We can be victims of specific attacks. We try to secure all data that we get on our server. We have a dedicated system to that. I can expand on this later, but this is not enough. We are not in a position to secure each witness's computer, and therefore we have a specific protocol in order to grant the highest possible security with certificates and other things. Here you see the place where contents are edited. All contents are collected on a server. There is then a selection committee made up of our partners, which are researchers and journalists. Later on, those contents are edited, cut, and we add subtitles. Then they're uploaded on the platform. There is a timeline, a chronology mentioning the major events of this rebellion. We can add new dates, new points in time. It's possible to manage this timeline that is published in French, Farsi and English. The project has been released last week. We had a very positive echo in the press from Mediapart, newspapers such as Nouvelle Obs, Figaro, Le Monde.fr, OVNI, but also Persian media, Radio Farda, among others, and we had also echoes from the BBC. We are going to be broadcast in Iran very soon. You have seen the name of our partners on the screen, and very quickly I'm now going to sum up what our project right now. As you know, Iranian Stories was the first rebellion where we had the actors of the rebellion filming it, and since the 1st of January we thought we want to develop this system and to transpose it to other rebellions and other revolts in other countries, so that in the end the internet user might be in a position to create his own content and to edit his own network and generate a network of people who are interested in this kind of rebellions. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to a British project, an English project. We are very proud to have the opportunity to host it. This was awarded a Webby Award last year for the first season. Webby Award is really the main point of reference in our field in the United States. This is an interactive web. We have an online game and we have a cross-media campaign. The title is Crimeface, and the production is Bellyfield and Chris. Stadt is going to tell us about this project.
The multi-platform Technology Noir. It was an interactive serial, and I made it to prove the potential I could see emerging in new technologies and storytelling. It was an exciting proposition to me, and Crimeface worked. I haven't got any representations of the film or my proposed Crimeface², so if you want to see it, then please do go to crimeface.net. So Crimeface² was very successful. It really did prove the point that there was new ways of telling stories and interactive stories. So how did I follow on from that? It was award-winning, it was groundbreaking, it was critically acclaimed, and following on, things changed. I'm sure everybody's heard of Facebook and Twitter and all the other social networks. In 2007, these things were exploding, and it was a new part of the digital revolution that I hadn't anticipated, and I think it was a big, interesting thing that was happened, and to me it became really obvious that these were great tools for storytelling, and that actually these social networks needed stories, and it was a great way forwards for stories. So following on, our projects at Bellyfield were all pitched towards being social entertainment. We did a transmedia thriller pilot called the Alexander Wilson Project, which from an initial share out to family and friends of 25 people, within 3 months became 4,500 people signed up to the project. We also worked with Terence Davies, the UK filmmaker, and took the DNA, the story DNA from his feature documentary of Time in the City, and we turned that into an online multi-platform storytelling community where people from Liverpool would tell their own stories. We're currently working on a pair of feature films, preparing a transmedia campaign to engage their audience and build an audience for that. So that brings me to today, and I'm here pitching Crimeface², which is a follow-up to the original Crimeface. It takes the original interactive video system that we developed and mixes it with the social aspect. The story follows on in the story world of Union City. Trans, our hero, is battling against his corrupt superior, Harry Adams. And Harry has some insurance in a book that he started writing in Crimeface² called Making Money in the Murder Market. So you work with Trans to try and bring down Harry, and because Harry's book documents a litany of abuse and corruption in the corridors of power of Union City, Trans needs to be very careful, and you need to be very aware of that and watch his back. I'm hoping this will be an international co-production, I would like it to be a global social entertainment product. It's quite easy to regionalise. There's not a lot of dialogue. A lot of the narrative is purveyed via text screens, which are easy to regionalise. We have a really innovative interactive video format that, since Crimeface², I haven't really seen anything better, and it's even more ideal for today's touchscreen technologies. And we also have a game layer so that when people get involved and start watching, we can track their progress, and by having them signed up, we are able to create a really special experience for them. So we're looking for international partners, and we're looking for development funding to turn this into a really big social entertainment project. We've already got 2 confirmed partners that I'm very pleased about. Christy Dina from Australia, who's a transmedia expert and designer and writer. She's recently worked on Conspiracy for Good with Tim Kring. Really like her work, really like Christy, very happy to have her on board. And we're also working with Xenophile Media, who are a Canadian production company who are exceptional, great people, really glad to be working with them. So that's pretty much where I'm at. If anybody feels that they have anything they can bring to the party in terms of co-production, then please get in touch. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you very much. On va continuer avec un projet, moi.
We're going to carry on now with a childhood memory that many of you maybe don't know. I think my children, however, will grow up knowing Sacha the Panda, and it's thanks to all that is possible with the new media, new technology, they are going to be able to grow up understanding sign language. This is a beautiful project. We really liked it a lot. It's been produced by Cross Game. We have Karim Galoun with us and Emmanuel Godiola, who are going to introduce us. Gentlemen, are you ready? Karim Galoun. I'm a producer. I've been doing it for about 15 years in multimedia, video games. And Sacha the Panda is a project I launched about 2-3 years ago, which follows on from what I have already produced for sign language. And together with Emmanuel, we came up with the idea of Sacha. The purpose of this panda is to use the transmedia and a game. Panda is a little fiend panda, and it's a way of introducing children to French signing. And it basically gives the idea that signing is a magical kind of language, and I'll leave the floor to Emmanuel to tell you a little bit more about the story. Okay, Emmanuel Godiola, System Agency. We deal with the design and the interactive graphics. This is a picture of the classroom, our heroine in this episode. As you can see, there's a basket of toys there, soft toys, which she finds every morning in her classroom. And this is the picture that every episode begins with, so it's a reassuring, familiar image. And each episode, there's a little problem that occurs. An example of that, Chloe has to draw a ladybird for Mother's Day and needs a model to do that. So what does she do? Well, she calls on Sacha, and Chloe has special powers. Out of nowhere, she can call up an iPad with all her soft toys for the world of soft toys, and Sacha is the main actor in this scene. The world of soft toys is, if you like, a projection of children's imagination of the world. Here you have an image of a small copse. It's graphically reproduced with leaves instead of trees, but sometimes we have the North Pole, a circus, or other environments which, if you like, are close to the imagination of a 6-year-old child. Sacha, therefore, goes through the adventure, lives through an adventure in search of a ladybird. So Sacha tries to take a picture of this tiny little ladybird,
But of course there's always a little problem, and he calls on Chloe, and Chloe says to him, it's very simple, all you have to do is scale up the picture, and then she shows him the sign for big. And when the panda does this, the ladybird grows. And so every time Chloe gives an action, there's a sign associated on it, and every sign has an impact on the world of Sacha. And so basically each sign opens a door to something new. But that's not all. Sacha then takes the picture. This is transferred to Chloe. And whilst Chloe draws her picture, Panda is going to get up to a lot of mischief. So, for example, he wants to blow up his cookie that he has in the afternoon. And sometimes he gets scared because he does something really silly. And then Chloe, therefore, says, well, make it go small. And she gives him the sign to make it small. So it's through this kind of fun journey, whenever Chloe appears, and when she makes the sign, it's a little bit like Dora the Explorer. What is different here with the orange key mode, it's a genuine interaction, because the children are going to induce these signs which have an impact on their world. So it's also a little bit of a story about how signs are chosen. It's raising awareness for children. It also makes them fun. So, for example, when you have a pony or a mare. So making it fun is the main criterion. Okay, and I'll hand the floor to Clément for the rest. I think you summed the project up very well. The target audience is children from 4 to 6. And for hard of hearing children, that's quite important. To begin with, we wanted an interactive 26 times 7 minute episodes. And now we're on 78 times 7. The medium is TV, probably with a VOD, web games, probably free, with mainstreaming across all media, and video games available on tablet PCs for Ubisoft, for example. And in terms of distribution, we'd be looking at several markets: France, Canada, Japan, probably China as well. We're also looking at Arabic Sign Language as well. So for the moment, we're looking for partners for co-production, and we can carry on this discussion around a plate of food later on. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup. Alors on va continuer avec.
Moving on now with a project that's going to tell us a little bit about music, everything that triggers our imagination, a singer who is propelled into stardom. It's happened. We've seen such stories on the web. And in this case, it's a story that's based on fiction. It's a cross-media project, very well marketed. You've probably seen brochures, flyers everywhere around the market. It's them, Jézabel, produced by Bridges, Eric Pellegrin and Eric Bouroulet. Hi, my name is Rémi. This is Eric. We are from Budget Film. And we're going to show you Jézabel, which is currently under construction. The series was born of several observations. First of all, that internet has given way to several people thrown into stardom. For example, in 2004, thanks to MySpace, Arctic Monkeys gained stardom because their fans posted their songs on MySpace, and they sold over 300,000 albums in the space of a week. The second example is Bon Iver, who posted his album on Verb in 2007, and in 2008 was spotted by a music label, and was classed above the 30 top-selling albums by Rolling Stone magazine. Then we noticed that adolescent, young adult lifestyle had changed. Skyblogs, such as digital natives, people who grow up with the digital world are very different. Also, tendencies such as skins and binge drinking. And the English series Skins is testimony to this change, because it shows young adults behaving in rather extreme fashion. The music industry as well is of continuous fascination. It's a star-producing machine. Music artists is like a firework, lasts for a few weeks and then disappears again into anonymity. So the story about Jézabel is a 19-year-old uni student studying literature in Lille, and she posts on YouTube a song that she has composed to find an old long-lost school friend, like a message in a bottle. Very quickly, it's spotted by a producer who contacts her and wants to re-record it with professional musicians. So we're going to find out about the star-studded world of music production and how she gets turned into a doll, and in Lille, on the other hand, she gets drawn into student life, more or less drinking parties and all the temptations that one is confronted with during at that age, and of course the painful awakenings that can sometimes lead to. We thought of a transmedia project showing how Jézabel falls into the music world, her student life, and 26-minute episodes. The blog is an opportunity to delve more into her personal life, and then you can follow her destiny via an internet and TV. The mobile phone is also an insight into what she's planning for the future, her mischief. The social networks are where you can meet her. We will be creating the characters, and the audiences will be able to interact with Jézabel's world. Jézabel will also be hosting a radio show, a short program, such as WeFM or The Move, which is a way of her to introduce a new artist or a song that has inspired her. In magazines such as Mozik, there will be a fashion page where her style will be analyzed, and she will go into a few tell secrets, for example, and then a live event will be staged with a popular artist. And then those who have participated most in all of the programs and interactive elements will be invited to the concert. Jézabel is very much a cross-media project because it explores this universe of music and crosses all the available media. So we will be reaching out to our 15 to 24 age group target audience, students, in order to tell them about the making of this new music star. And just to wrap up, this is a project that's still under development, and we are currently looking for co-writing with a distributor broadcaster. And we can carry on talking about it over lunch. Thank you.
Ils sont en train de construire une petite scène là.
They're currently shooting a scene, so we'll meet again in 3 years for the Jézabel concert. Right, the next pitch that we have is rather a crazy idea. We fell in love with it. It's a 3D transmedia. Basically, people who shouldn't be working together find themselves in the same hotel. The project is called Hotel. Gentlemen, are you here? And so these guys find themselves together in a hotel, and we liked the graphic universe, the graphic world that was depicted in this project. It's completely off the wall. Gentlemen, are you ready? Hello, my name is Bonjour Noël. I'm the project manager. This is a transmedia project that is split into 3 parts. First of all, we have a location, the hotel. The first step is exploratory, so we find out about this virtual world. It's a luxury hotel in an isolated park. It's very subjective, real-time 3D reality, and inspired from video game environment. We have police and terrorists, the archetype video game characters like Thunderstrike, and there they are they're on kind of a break. And so this is the world before the actual series begins. This is a 10-episode series that tells the story of the end of this world and its total demise. And we look at the mindset of these players, of these actors.
I kept going all the way to the river. It was pure and icy. There was 2 trouts stuck in the current. I thought about fishing them out with my hands, just for fun. But I couldn't convince myself to get my ass in gear. What's more, I don't like fish. We have no word from the headquarters, no orders, no communication intelligence. Oh, guys! Hello! Qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour vous? Force. Agility. Concentration. Here we are faced with a threat that we don't know nothing about. Yeah. Does a single one of you have a fucking clue what is going on here?
Donc, le monde de l'hôtel sera mis en ligne. Il y aura la possibilité de suivre l'évolution du monde, vu de l'intérieur, au fur et à mesure de la série. On aura même accès à une salle de projection dans l'hôtel, où seront projetés les épisodes avec les commentaires en live des personnages, donc les soldats. La dernière étape de Hôtel sera une autre expérience de navigation dans un monde virtuel, la situation sur laquelle se termine la série. On y trouvera des clés d'interprétation, et on aura aussi accès aux archives du projet. Question.
Vous avez vu ça, c'est incroyable. Benjamin a une idée de dingue, géniale, complètement originale. Des personnages de jeux vidéo qui se retrouvent au Chaume-du, qui nous parlent de fromage, de vin, qui nous parlent de pêche à la truite, à la main. Ben, moi, je suis juste tombé dedans, j'adore. Arte est notre partenaire, Arte Web. L'équipe de Joël Renez adore le projet aussi. Donc nous voilà partis pour une production qui va être dans une chronologie de médias inversée du cinéma, qui est mon métier. Première diffusion Internet, une diffusion qui est en fait une expérience du spectateur, qui n'est pas juste une diffusion d'une série. Dans notre budget, qui va être donc complété par un préachat d'Arte, CNC Nouveaux Médias, un partenariat avec la Belgique, la région Île-de-France, on a un gap, on cherche des partenaires pour, dans la chronologie de l'exploitation, plateforme vidéo, exploitation mobile, diffusion télévision, édition DVD et cinéma. Voilà, on fait tout à l'envers, mais on a une idée tellement belle et tellement forte qu'à chaque étape, on va rajouter des plugs, des bouts d'histoire, des scènes, et que le spectateur va au fur et à mesure, s'il nous suit, jusqu'à la diffusion cinéma, découvrir un projet qui s'épaissit comme ça, qui devient de plus en plus fort. Voilà. That's it. À tout à l'heure.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, now get hold of your seats. Humor, derision in the world of adolescence. This is Kit for Kids by Caribou Animation, Régis and Eliane, producer, here to talk about this project. Are you ready? Good morning. Survival Kit is a story and an assistance to Ellie, Hugo and their parents who are in their journey through adolescence. This is a family project, and the main point of this is to take the drama out of this period in life using humor, absurdity and derision. It is not supposed to be educational. This is a universal program. Nobody can get around this period in life, and the universality also is found in the media that are used, TV, mobile, internet and educational material. The finance that we've managed to gather so far means that we've managed to produce the animated part of the project, but we're still looking for investors and broadcasters for all the other media that we have planned for this production. Okay, what do we need a survival kit for? Well, in this survival kit, you have animation, as I said before. The first series of 52 4-minute episodes. This is set to be aired at the end of 2011, beginning of 2012. Here are our partners. Simply to say that we have 6 screenwriters working on 30 scripts, under the management of creator-producer who is in the 4th row in this room. And today they've already written 30 of the 52 episodes. In terms of production, where are we? Well, starting with the backdrops. This is something that we'll be working on over the summer. These are a few of the images that we have so far. So we are going to be doing the storyboards in September based on these backdrops. Casting and of voices is currently underway, and we hope to have English and Spanish versions as well, thanks to work with partners. And as I said before, that we will have the storyboard in September. Survival Kit is also on internet. This is a mock-up of the internet site. We would like to put this into reality. We have a kit machine idea that you can see here on the left, which already exists in some way, because we're replacing the face of a friend and you place it on the character's body in the series. And here we'll be doing it with all the existing episodes. Here we need the development side for that, so we have Eliane's head here, and we've placed it on the main protagonist of the story, which is Carlotta. And this is what you get over internet, the video.
Trigonometry is a mega problem.
I never understood this stuff about the sine and cosine.
No problem, it's easy. But she hasn't yet been interrupted by...
Hello, hello, hello!
Donc là, c'est l'épisode pilote.
So this is the pilot of the pilot, which talks about bothersome mothers. Well, if you have one like that, then you put the photo of that person on Carlotta's body, and there you are. So this is the kit team, and this is the interactive part of the website. Everybody can post their personal experiences. It also helps to feed into future episodes and helps our screenwriters who, for the moment, aren't short of ideas. The website will also have a more sober section to it for those who want to delve more into the factual side of adolescence. So we want something that is educational, not moralized, not a sort of a moral approach to adolescence. So, for example, we'll have forum blogs. There will be advice from counselors, psychologists and other associations aimed both at young adults, adolescents and parents, or people who work with young people. This is also an opportunity to talk about subjects that you can't cover in 4 minutes or are not suitable to the kind of humor that are used in the series. So this obviously has a broader scope to adolescent-related problems. We also have an app for iPhone, which reproduces the website adapted to iPhones. So you have access to the best parts. We also have the story, the picture novel and cartoon version of, printed cartoon version of the series, and games. We've already got one major fan of these games. This is Snakes and Ladders type game, and you can play with for several players. There will be educational tools, as I said, added to this work. As you can see, it's an exhaustive project, thanks to all those who have helped us so far. We have a pilot, there is a teaser, so feel free to ask us for it if you're interested. Thank you.
Alors c'était le deuxième grand thème.
This is our second main topic, which is hemoglobin. It was represented everywhere on the 280 projects, and the best projects remained after the selection. This project was very well built, and it is produced by Oecourt. And in order to present it, we have Olivier Dujol, author of the project, and Jimmy Desmarais, who is the producer. The floor is yours. Good morning. My name is Olivier Dujol. I'm the author of the story. I hope you're fine. First of all, the main features of the project. It's a contemporary crossover mixing two well-known genres, zombie and vampire, in our society. Vampires are hidden. They exist among us secretly, and in the near future there will be an epidemic, so that 98% of humanity will be zombies, and the 2% remaining survivors, human beings, will have to survive in the face of zombies and vampires. We have a TV series, 12 episodes of 26 minutes, and a alternate reality game, web, mobile, TV, and live. We want to have a community project and participatory project. Community, why? Because vampire communities and zombie communities do exist and are very active and demanding for this kind of event. Then we have a participatory TV series, and also the game is participatory as people take part in it. The TV series, there was a pitch. In 2017, at a hospital, survivors tried to get organized in order to not to be victims of the economics, and the future of humanity is depending on the future of humanity is dependent on their own survivals. We have three various species of figures: human, vampires, and zombies. Zombies are not only strange characters. They have specific brain capacities, and therefore they are very interesting for the scenario. We have various issues at stake. According to the three species, surviving and understanding the origin of the epidemics. And therefore, everyone tries to find some hints and clues about the origin of the epidemics. They can find them in the mobile phone and security videos in order to find out how has these epidemics started. All those contents are created by non-professional users and then integrated, fitted into the series. This is the participatory aspect of the project. The aim consists in understanding the origin of the epidemics, how the epidemics originated. According to the game, the TV series is a forecast. This is our future. We are all going to be faced with this situation. In order to prevent this, we need to understand where these epidemics come from and how we can prevent it. So we have a tracking game on the web with the TV series. We've got books and also live elements that are hidden in libraries and in real places where users have to go in order to find the clues, in order to understand the vampires, to understand the virus, and to see whether or not it's spreading is happening by accident or not. We'll have live events such as Zombie Walk. You probably heard about this kind of event that happen everywhere in all large cities on the planet. We also have real-life quests. What are our strengths? We have a game, a very simple concept. You have to rescue humanity. It's an augmented reality game. We have a participatory series that's incorporating contents, user contents or non-professional contents, into a highly professional production. We have this augmented reality game that is related to a live TV fiction, and usually this kind of ARG is related to other kinds of programs. And you know that this the fact of mixing zombie and vampires is also totally non-typical. We have a production company entitled Haut et Court, and you all know them. As for the production, we know that the series has been funded, which enabled us to have a feasible project. It's very difficult in France to have this genre of zombie and vampire financed. Therefore, our strategy consists in building on the existing community, starting with a first step of development, incorporating the fan communities of zombies and vampires. This in order to demonstrate to distributors that the project is working, that we have high-quality videos. This was the first development, pre-development step. Thank you very much for your attention.
Félicitations, merci beaucoup.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next project, which is a small travel on both sides of the channel. It's entitled A Tale of Two Johns. It is a cultural approach on public sector actions and cultural life in Paris and in London. We've been very much interested in that project, and the production company is London Quest Company.
Thank you.
Andrew Paulby and Jamie Harper.
Andrew Paulby, Jamie Harper.
Thank you. We are the London Quest Company, and we are designers of interactive experiences.
Okay, so we're going to be telling you about A Tale of Two Johns. A Tale of Two Johns is an interactive drama documentary focusing on two fictional protagonists, both of whom have suffered from public sector funding cuts in London and Paris. So within the drama, the members of the public will be invited to influence the narrative outcomes of the story. They'll be able to effect positive change in the lives of the two characters. And within this narrative experiment, we want to film the public response. So the drama documentary actually becomes a reflection of the moral and political viewpoints of real people in London and Paris. So cuts have, to some extent, affected all countries in the EU, but the responses in different countries have been very different. In France, you've seen mass demonstrations, strikes, whereas in the UK, the reactions maybe been slightly more sedate. We don't want to pass judgment on those different responses. The project will simply ask the question, what would you do under these circumstances?
Okay, so imagine there are two Johns, and both Johns have lost their jobs. They're ashamed of their unemployment, and the financial strain of not having a job has put pressure on their relationships. So they face losing their friends, their families, and their homes. But the question we want to ask is, how will they deal with the situation? So will John crack underneath the pressure and leave his wife Julia, or will he seek this as an opportunity for spending more time with his family? As the main go forward, the role of the participant is integral in choosing a path. The Johns are eager to seek help and take advice and to have friendship, and the support that they will be given are a reflection of real people in London and Paris today. So we move on to the mechanics of the delivery. We start with an online film. There are two films, one in Paris and one in London, and they are shot in a documentary style. So the cameraman is actually a character within the story as well. And the reason for these two films are to give contextual information about characters and narrative, so the participants that are watching the films can feel that they can get involved in the action. So they've got contextual information to drive their actions. We then move on to social media. So because it's a documentary, John can speak directly to camera, and he speaks directly to camera to ask for the participants' help. And he drives the participants to his blog and to his Facebook sites, his Twitter accounts, so he can make contact with the characters and they can also advise him. The participants are given daily incentives, so there's a constant change in the sensory refreshment of the tasks that the participants have to do.
Okay, following on from the social media, the next step is for participants to make face-to-face contact with characters through live event drama. So within the live events, characters will be invited to come to real locations, and these scenes will be entirely improvised, so the participants arriving at these scenes can feel like that they can achieve anything in their interactions with the two Johns. But we want to express the fact that from our point of view, the drama will be rigorously structured, so the participants feel that they can achieve anything, but we already have a predetermined set of potential narrative outcomes which can be affected by participant interactions. So as you can see here, it's episodic in structure, so the live events will be filmed and then subsequently screened as a second online film. So the second online film will then lead into a new range of social media interactions and a new sequence of live event scenarios, and this repeats over a series of installments or episodes. Now the number of installments or episodes that we use is malleable, it's open to debate, but the fundamental point is that the substance of the ultimate documentary is an amalgamation of all the live event scenarios that have been filmed, so that it's the response of the members of the public coming to meet these characters that actually forms the content of the documentary.
Okay, so we're very aware that participants within the new digital landscape, the audience is very confident in providing discussion and debate within social media. But we want to go a step beyond the technology and actually give people the opportunity to meet characters, affect positive change through the most powerful form of interaction, which is human contact.
And so with this human contact in mind, we want the story in this piece of work to be driven by human interaction. And although it's within a fictional narrative framework, the fact that the story is driven forward by real people in London and Paris will give our story a unique authenticity, because the content is defined by the passions, the prejudices, the viewpoints of real people in real world locations. So as you know, we're a London-based company, so we're here in Paris seeking a co-production partner to help us with the French strand of this project. So if you're interested in talking to us, please find us at the bar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Alors, on va continuer.
Right, so we're going to carry on now with something fairly simple to describe. It's been a huge success on the internet. It opens the way to some genuine questions. It's called Make Your Mind Up, Clément. It's been produced by Nantes Media. Paul, you're going to introduce the project.
My name is Paul Paulson, and I'm going to present to you my show, Décide-toi, Clément. Décide-toi, Clément was one of the first French web series and one of the first interactive web series. I created it in 2007, and I produced 7 episodes in an amateur way next to my studies at Sciences Po. And with a public and critical acclaim, I decided to start my own production company, Ninth Pole Media. A CNC grant in 2010 enabled us to make a new, more advanced and more ambitious version of the show, of which we produced 2 episodes already. This new version of the show is a 2-part concept. The first part is the main show with the main storylines, and next to it a lot of additional parallel content. The main show tells the story of Clément, an academic and social failure that ends up hanging out with a bunch of colorful university students that embark him in their crazy adventures. Think Skins meets Scrubs. So you have, it's French, it's funky, and it's fresh. The voting system is the main interactivity with this main storyline. At the end of each episode, Clément has 2 little backbone to make the choice of his own. So, for instance, he has a choice between going back with his ex-girlfriend or and comforting his ex-girlfriend, or going with a new girl, on a date with a new girl, and the viewer decides and votes on what outcome, what decision Clément should make, and we film the continuation. We also have a long-term voting where you decide what Clément should always have on him, like a condom or lighter, and then he will use it during the show. Or, for example, what secondary character will have an accident during the season, and then this character will have, you don't know when, but he will have a car accident or something. Next to that, there's a constant stream of parallel storyline, which are found in several concepts. One of them is a concept we call objet trouvé, or lost and found, which are elements of each episode that are extracted from the episode and can live independently. Like videos, songs, posters, etc. For instance, in the first episode, Clément and his group of friends are going to, they are competing in the presidency for the student council, what you call BDE, and they have a whole campaign where they produce videos inside the show. They produce videos and posters and songs, etc. And all these elements are available on the website and on YouTube, and on several social platforms outside of the episodes themselves. That creates more content. Next to that, we have blogging, which are mini-series. Each secondary character has a mini-series of their own, with, for instance, Josephine has her diary in a 19th century style. She writes it. Then you have Alexandre, which is kind of a geek. He has a political podcast on the internet, etc. So each one of them has a regular content that we broadcast. Next to that is social media. Each character has a fictional Facebook profile where they actually interact with each other. A lot of shows have fake Facebook profile for the characters, but they don't actually interact with each other a lot, and these tell a story while writing on each other's walls. For instance, at one point, the group organized a trip to Marseille to see Alexandre's house in Marseille, and in the middle of the trip, they realized by writing in each other's walls that they forgot Clément in Paris. So that's the kind of stories that we can tell exclusively through social media. The current response has been very good. We won a prize at the Festival Européen des Quatre Écrans. We have sponsored by the CNC, Sciences Po, Mérite Paris, Oseo, and we had a lot of media exposure with Canal+, with a 20-minute segment, Public Sénat, France Info, LCI. Entrevue, but that's not that good. Okay, and the current response, public response, has also been good with 13. Actually, it passed the 14,000 fans on Facebook yesterday. That's a 370% increase of the amateur season, and I don't know if you can see, but the target is 13 to 24 years old. The fans are also very implicated, and we're very happy and surprised to see that there's a lot of fan-generated content, like drawings and pictures, and they're writing on the college walls like Devenez fan de Décide-toi on Facebook, and they're organizing DTC events, and where we bring the actors playing the characters at these events. The opportunities for this show are numerous. We're looking for co-production or international adaptation. It can be very broad. It can be only web-centered and branded as part of an advertisement campaign for a company, or it could be more broad, like a full-on cross-media experience with the episodes first screening on TV and then on the web. It can be a medium to large-size project, and the amount of additional content is another source of income. This, in the end, is a project custom fit to your need. One last word on my company. Our current project are launching a web TV called idtc.fr, and we just finished a €100,000 viral campaign that will come out in September. It's a video game to prevent alcohol abuse. And if you're interested in the way we view content and touch 15 to 25-year-old, please contact me after the thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
And make your mind up, everybody, because he's ready to start work with you. Right, now we're going to end up with a musical note. This is another amazing project which places music at the heart of our cities with an approach that we found was very ingenious and very creative. And Cadence is this project made by Beastie Prod, Julie Progin, and Laurence Ducou is somewhere sitting over there at the back of the room. So Laurence Ducou-Vola, I am the producer, associated director. Off we go. So, great pleasure for me to be here today. We set up our production company 5 years ago, and today we have a good following, and it's a huge pleasure to say that for Beastie Prod. Cadence was set up by our transmedia team, but everything started off with an encounter with a musician, composer, producer. Here's an example.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Simon Buisson, j'ai 25 ans, je suis réalisateur et également violoniste depuis l'âge de 6 ans. J'ai fait tout le cursus du conservatoire pendant 20 ans, j'y suis encore d'ailleurs. Donc j'ai compris il y a 10 ans qu'on pouvait se servir de cet apprentissage très rigoureux pour faire autre chose que le classique traditionnel et s'ouvrir à d'autres horizons musicaux. Donc la musique classique n'est pas forcément élitiste et c'est cette envie de montrer qu'on peut tout à fait se réapproprier son apprentissage pour faire différentes choses qui m'a poussé à écrire Cadence.
La musique classique peut donc...
So classical music may be quite surprising. It can be anywhere and it can take any shape. This is a sort of new wave we want to show to the audience of Cadence. Please now let's immerse ourselves in the universe, in the environment of a web documentary. Our concept consists in having the audience experiencing a music experience and also unique human meetings thanks to alternative non-conformists and kind of crazy musicians. There is a musical and city-related environment. The sound dimension is very much present, and you see here the outlines of our homepage, which gives you an overview of our spirit. We would like to have the opportunity to move as we would walk around in a city. Each place has its own sound environment, so that you can emerge into this place. We can have a look at the suburbs area where initiatives have been launched in order to, and we can there meet the musicians who are very active and who bring classical music in front to young people. We have the player room and the music academy that are main places, and we also work on try to discover other places that are alternative and new locations. I'd like to see with you the electronic warehouse. Each time we want to draw a line, a set, a graphic that is typical and specific and corresponds with the group's universe. And this electronic warehouse, we see the Aufgang group, which plays classical electronic music, which is a really non-typical kind of music. And then you have the opportunity to get to know each musician in a more detailed way. You click on the artist's name and then you access to his portrait. This is a very diverse and very imaginative set, enabling you to meet the artist and then to go further, that is, having the opportunity to meet the artist in the real life. And this is why the web series and the web doc are participatory. You see here an overview of the total web project. I'm not going to mention this into details. We can talk about that later if you want to. We want to generate meetings with the musicians, and we also want to offer a collaborative musical piece. We had a music recording studio, maybe you saw it on the platform earlier on. In this studio, each person from the audience has the opportunity to go and compose a piece that will then be mixed in order to create a collective musical piece. Why this project? In our view, it was very interesting to display new pictures of classical music. I did not know about all those initiatives and all those artists who provide us with a new interpretation of classical music. We want to stand for this project. We strongly believe in this. We are at the initial phase of development, but we are confident that it should work. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have had an overview of the 23 projects. We're very proud of them. We thank them for being so confident and for their pitches. We hope they will be successful, and we'll let them know about the later developments. All of you are registered in the Cross Video Days network. You got an email with the password to that. Please feel free to use this network in order to share information, to email each other. This is a very simple platform enabling you to get in touch with decision makers, with creative actors, and with other distributors, producers, and so on. We'll now have lunch all together, and this afternoon we'll have two conferences. First one, what can video games tell us about the digital world and this video world we're all experiencing today? Second conference, and the final one, is dedicated to money issues and funding issues. Advertising and micropayment, can advertising and micropayment fund digital production? We have iMedia, we have BNP, the bank, they both have started project. Please feel free to ask them, and let's move to the lunch. Thank you very much.